Hola, Minasan. Welcome back for another round of Nintendo Switch 2 trailer reactions. Oh yeah, going through a handful of Switch 2 trailers that's not from Nintendo of America's own channel. Well, except for one, of course. Except for one, of course, and that is the Now You're Playing Together with featuring Paul Rudd. That's the only one. I'm gonna do a little comparison, but I also took a look at a few third-party games that had released their trailers for Switch 2 directly, showing Switch 2 footage, and get a nice look at what they're putting out there for the Switch 2, and see if we could get a nice little hype out of this. Nice little coda for my Switch 2 arc. It was a fun ride, covering the directs, sharing my thoughts on the whole thing, and have a nice little conversation with one of my viewers regarding Nintendo. So we're gonna close out my whole arc with with just a select few trailers for Nintendo Switch 2, and I guess I guess we'll close it out like that. Yeah, I don't need to elaborate any further. Everything I wanted to say, I got to say it. So now I want to enjoy of what's to come. For when the day comes that I officially get my hands on the Nintendo Switch 2, which could be a year or two. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But I'm definitely going to get the Switch 2, but I'm not in any rush, personally. But for those of you who are gunning for it now, have fun, enjoy. You know, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. It's a big deal. You know, it's a big deal. So, gonna open this up with Now You're Playing Together with featuring Paul Rudd, because what's special about this little trailer? What's special about this little trailer is that this is Paul Rudd's return to doing a trailer. He did one a long time ago when he was a kid. 1991 commercial for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Nintendo of America actually republished that and then did a whole new one. So we're gonna do a comparison here. Comparison. So let's take a look. Let's get reacting. Call to action, comment, like, subscribe, follow, and hit the notification bell. And yeah, let us start reacting. All right, this is the Super Nintendo Entertainment System 1991 commercial. This was Paul Rudd's commercial, first commercial. There he is.
When you decide to step up to this kind of power, this kind of challenge, this kind of flying, crashing, feeling, when you decide to get serious, there's only one place to come: the games of Super Nintendo. No one else creates this kind of experience, because no one else creates these kinds of games. Now you're playing with power, superpower.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Look at what it said at the bottom. New Zelda and football to come. Oh man. Oh wow. I mean, just look how young Paul Rudd was back then. That's pretty crazy. There he is. Look at it. Look at that face. They said Paul Rudd don't age. They ain't lying. He looks the same back then too. He's supposed to be a teen. And look at the games that they pushed for it back then. Pilot Wings, F-Zero. Like F-Zero's the first one they showed off. There's Play Action Football and Pilot Wings. I like how fast that they were holding it up. SimCity. I just noticed they show you SimCity, but they don't show you the game. They don't show you any gameplay of SimCity. Look at this. There it is. SimCity. No gameplay. There's no gameplay to it. We would never. We didn't even know what type of game SimCity is. It just says SimCity. That's it. Done. Moving on. Oh man. Those who knew what that was probably enjoyed it, and of course, Link to the Past, and we get the first look at that game. Look at that. You just got like the look on his face. He's like, oh, Zelda. Made it look like you could play multiple games on the same console. It's like, but you're not connected. Oh my gosh, the hype that we had back then, man. Look at this. Look at this. He's not even playing it right. He's just like. He doesn't even have actually he is holding it correctly because we never really put our left finger on the left button, the L button. We never really put our left finger on the L button. That's what I'm trying to say here. He really captured that correctly. Just spam that R button hard. It's like, oh, Zelda. Oh my gosh. Is there yeah, it only went up to 480p, huh? Yeah, that's how old this commercial really is. That's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. That was the Paul Rudd's first Nintendo commercial. Now here is his second commercial. the lighting, that's funny.
When you decide to step up to this kind of play, this kind of fun.
No.
This kind of experience.
Hey guys.
Nice jacket, Paul.
Why are you dressed like you're in a boy band?
Seriously? My Super NES commercial from the 90s with my long black duster, indie rocked hair, and beaded necklace?
Now we're playing with power. Come on.
Hi, Uncle Paul.
Lisa.
I can't wait to tell my class how I clowned you guys.
That's a lot of lip out of you, Lisa.
Time for our thumbs to do the talking.
Let the games begin.
Lisa, how are you going that fast? You don't even have an actual driver's license.
Let me show you a little something I learned in the 1900s.
Ooh, you can ride rails now?
I'll be honest with you, that was purely accidental.
You boomers are cute, but you're gonna lose.
Don't be so sure, Lisa. I take tons of supplements. She's on a wall. She's on a wall.
Lisa, get down. You're not allowed to be up there. My head is a burger, and you know what that means? I don't exactly. It means
I gotta
something
give Nintendo credit on that chat room.
Lisa!
I'm gonna feel that tomorrow.
You know, guys, it's nice playing with power, but this is better because now we're playing together.
Super together.
Uh-oh. He's doing a voice.
I forgot the mist.
All together, anytime, anywhere.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I say hilarious because of the way they ended it with the mist. He forgot to turn on the mist, the fog machine like in the commercial. I gotta give Nintendo credit, man. They really leaned into the terrible chat, that horrible frame drop. They're owning it. I give them credit. They're owning that. They're really owning it. 100%. Give them credit on owning this terrible chat screen. Just look at this, man. They even zoomed in on it. Like, yeah, they're like, yeah, it's the frame rates suck, but we're still selling that we can do it and have all these conversations. It's pretty freakish, really, especially because they're showing more of this than they are of the actual gameplay. And I like that they're showing play together. And what's good about this commercial, what's good about this commercial is that she's actually behaving like what a kid really behaves like. Okay, even though there's a whole bunch of grown adults, family, friends, all that stuff, they actually captured how the kids really behave to a more lighter extent. I mean, technically speaking, they'll be cursing and slurring all up and down on those game chats. But her taunting and calling them boomers, yeah, that is precisely how kids behave. That's that is for all intents and purposes a very softer tone. Because we gamers know for a fact that they'll be cursing and slurring all up and down these kids her age. Kids her age will be doing that. Kids her age will be doing that. But the fact that they got her to call them boomers and taunting, yeah, that's they got it right. They didn't, unlike the Wii U commercials where they had those kids acting like 90s kids, you know, and forgetting that's not the 90s anymore, you know. This is legit. This is legit. So, man, but the fact that they're pushing the chat room knowing full well that they're not, that thing's gonna be behind a paywall after 1 year it's just sad, you know. It's heartbreaking. And then you got to get the camera if you want the full thing, you know what I'm saying. So between that and having an NSO account, that's just too much. That's too much to ask for. And yes, you know, to be fair, the camera does have other functionalities, not just the chat. They showed you know, Jamboree, you know, saying where you could put your face on there and interact with the game. It's it's basically a Connect. That's very true. It's very true. You know what I'm saying? But it's just knowing that you need an NSO account to do the chat room, and then you got to get the camera on top of that to put your face on the screen. That's a pretty tough thing. So yeah, in terms of how they duplicated that, you can see the angle here. The angle right here from this with the sign glitching on, just like that, and then having the Super Nintendo type voice, that 90s voice, just like over here, Let's zoom in on that. Yeah, see, and then you see the lights flickering a bit. And of course he got the suit on, which is pretty hilarious. And yeah, he slams it in just like the Super Nintendo cartridge. Just like the Super Nintendo cartridge, he slams it in. Let's see. Here he is slamming it in. Yeah, just like that. Although he did it a little bit more lighter. And he started doing the faces too. I just realized it. He's doing the faces. He's doing his 90s faces until the chat pops in. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. But yeah, he forgot to put on the fog machine. That even though he's got fog around him, the fog is coming out of his suit. Did I just see that right? This fog is coming out of the suit. Oh no, okay, there's the fog machine. Okay, and the fan, the fan blowing the fog, because that's what happens over here. Over here, the fog machine. Oh man, where's the fog? Let's see here. When he walks right on up. Yeah, you see the fog? He's like completely surrounded by fog. It's hilarious. Yeah, that's great. Great capture of nostalgia. That was a great capture of nostalgia, getting him to make the faces again. And then, of course, showing off the chat room, the whole game chat and everything. Which is fine, and good on Nintendo to just lean in on the frame rates and just zoom in and just let the terrible frame rates flow and all that. And also good on them for capturing the kids. Okay, they have one kid on there and behaved exactly how an internet kid would, by calling them boomers and taunting them. And keep in mind, like I said, that's just being a soft depiction of how they actually behave. Because we all know she will be cursing and slurring up a storm. But brilliant move on that part, and shows that shows that that expect that from kids. So I got some more trailers to show. So go on to the next one. All right, let's take a look at the Fast Fusion teaser trailer, first look trailer for the Switch 2, the NS2. The future
is fusion.
Oh, okay. Ah, there's the gameplay. Or what was gameplay. Are you serious? That looks actually pretty good. Alright. Didn't mind. I have this on just 1080. Alright. Well, that's the first look trailer. The stages look great and everything, and it is fast fusion, so it did look good. Of course, I did notice that there wasn't any color changing. Like they weren't switching colors in Fast RMX. You switch between red and blue, and how you go over the color zippers will determine how fast, will determine if you slow down or go fast. That was what was interesting about Fast RMX, but looks like that feature is not there. They probably took that out and just gonna go straight for raw speed, most likely. Here's the website. Let's see, do they have that? June 5th release, hypersonic speed, non-stop pumping action at 60 frames per second in 4K HDR. That's insane. That's insane. 4K HDR, anti-gravity jumps, vehicle fusion, hyper tracks, 4-player split screen, game sharing nearby, cool, game sharing internet, TV mode, tabletop mode, handheld mode, and you could use the Joy-Con, the Switch, the Pro Controller, and the Grip 2. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, it's fast. It's the Fast series. That series is pretty cool. Let's take a look at this pre-order trailer of Hitman 2, World of Assassination on the Switch 2, the NS2. The Cerisi suit. All Mario looking. The golden wrench. The red mushroom. The Fire 47 suit. Retail exclusive. The mansion suit. Green. The Dino Duck. Let's get a good long look here. This is the bonus feature on the Switch 2. This is what the Switch 2 looks like. Now we're really getting a good clear look at Switch 2 gameplay here. This is all Switch 2 gameplay. Look at how fantastic this looks. Oh man. This looks real fantastic. Look at that. And get signature pack. The Cerisi suit. Just look at this. This is actual gameplay. Man. So this is really good. Oh my gosh, man. This is fantastic how it looks on the Switch 2. And here's the gameplay right here. See, he throws it and it blows up. Alright. Yeah. Most acclaimed Hitman game ever. I like how they put that in the same setup for those who get like 100 awards and everything. That's funny. Really, the Switch 2 is looking solid, these games here. Like, we would never have seen this on the Switch 1, this crisp. Just look how crisp this is. Dang. Yeah. Yeah, this really looks like a PS4. Like this is definitely something you would see on PS4. That's why I say Switch 2 is like a 4.5, PS 4.5, if anything. Just look at that. Just look at this. I mean, look at the details in the on the clothes. We all talk about the details. We all talk about the details, right? Right? looking for the for that crazy detail on clothes and such. Well, here you go. You got it on the Nintendo now. You finally got your little bumps and grooves on your Nintendo system. Look at the grooves and bumps here. Look at the grooves and bumps on the skin, on the gloves, on the suit, the jacket. You wanted all those HD details, didn't y'all? Well, here it is on Nintendo Switch 2. And Fast Fusion looked really good too for the 2 seconds they showed actual gameplay. It seems like it's gonna be like that for some of these trailers. They're all just gonna show 2 to 3 seconds of gameplay, and everything else is just some random showcase. The pre-made stuff. You know what I mean? For the trailer. Continuing on with checking out some Switch 2 trailers. Here is Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S. Let's see how that looks. 2 puzzle games collide on Nintendo Switch 2. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S. I love that. You could do Puyo Puyo versus Tetris. 4-player modes, 12 different ways to play. Okay, lots of rule sets to choose from. Puyo Puyo Tetris doubles, new mode. Huh. Play with a friend on the same board. 2 players on the same board. Whoa. Use your controller like a mouse. Oh, mouse control. Oh, I see it. I saw the cursor. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Let's see the cursor mode, the mouse mode here. First of all, 2 players on the same board. That's pretty awesome. I've never seen that before in any of these puzzle type games. Let's see here. Here's the mouse. So there's the cursor right there on the far right. And it didn't really do much. I just noticed that it just sat there. Let's see. Yeah, see, they should have moved that a little bit more, but there it is. There it is, moving around a bit. That's pretty awesome, to give a mouse mode. I would like to try that out. As usual, the standard fare of 4 players. You can have Puyo. You could do Puyo Puyo. Pew pew Puyo Puyo with 2 players, or Tetris with 2 players, or you can mix up and have 1 player on Tetris and 1 player on Puyo Puyo. That's what was so cool about it. I'm very curious as to what the 12 different modes are. I do have Puyo Puyo Tetris 1 and 2. Wow. And all the characters are there, of course. All the characters are available, and you can actually customize the rule sets, which is great to see. Oh yeah, you can see it right here. 1 player has entire dark mode, while the other player has these little bonus blocks. And then this is interesting, doubles mode, where you got 2 players, and then over there you got player 4. Which means that player 3 and player 4 can do that. Could play on the same board. Puyo Tetris doubles sounds like something from tennis. I would like to see how that works. All this on Switch 2, huh? This is pretty good. I like this. Footage shown is from ongoing development, so it's still not finalized. So I guess that's understandable then why this mouse was not moving. This mouse cursor over here was not moving consistently. This mouse cursor was not moving at all, because it's still in development. I'm liking it. I would like to get that. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S. So that's probably an up. I wonder if that's an update. Is that gonna be like a Switch 2 edition? Or is that a completely different game with the 2S moniker on it? With that S moniker on it. Like it's Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, but it's a whole new edition, the S edition. Or is it going to be like the Switch 2 edition? There's a Switch 2 pre-order trailer for Sonic Generations Shadow. Let's see if they're gonna show actual gameplay. Let's see, mixed gameplay and cinematic footage captured on Switch 2 specifications. Okay, so we're looking at it as Switch 2. Enhance and optimize for Switch 2. Looks pretty good.
Time to scramble some Eggman, supersonic style.
Alright. Pre-order now. You get all sorts of, you get Gerald Robotnik and other weird stuff. So that's the pre-order bonus. So, one of the best games of 2024. So yeah, it does look good. So far, that looks pretty good. I think that's the Switch 2 right there. How it just flows through. Okay, and here's Sonic jumping into the air. I don't know how I feel about those cutscenes there. They looked a little frame rate drop there, but then they did say very clearly mix of gameplay and cinematic footage, game capture on Switch 2. So this is all on Switch 2, and they're just mixing up the cinematic and gameplay footage. Alright, at least they're saying it's a mix, and this is all on Switch 2. This is what it looks like on Switch 2. That's pretty good. Although there's some frame rate drops, you know, a little fuzzy there on the frame rates, but it looks pretty good. Just, you know, for Switch 2, I gotta say, this one really gives a good is a good example right here. Yeah, that's actually pretty some pretty good samples here. This one is also a good sample right there. Yeah, I gotta say, the Switch 2 is starting to look, you know, it's really looking good. It's looking good. These third-party games are starting to look pretty solid. That's pretty much all the trailers I could find for the Switch 2. That's not from Nintendo of America or the Direct. That was pretty fun look. So head on over to Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com and grab yourself a copy of The Impossible Man, a strange fantasy novel written by me. You'll find links to the book down in the description below, along with links to other merch such as pins, stickers, t-shirts, music. Enjoy the products. Thank you for your patronage. And if you happen to have a copy of The Impossible Man novel and did a YouTube video on it, lore or analysis or anything, thank you very much. I'm interested to hear what you got to say. And if you're interested, you could join me in my live multi-stream on Twitch and Kick every Monday through Thursday, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to hanging out with you with reaction videos, research, cultural studies, gaming, and more. I look forward to seeing you then. So until the next round of trailer reactions, thank you all for joining me, and I wish you all a good night. Buenas noches, and oyasumi nasai.